Prepare to be amazed.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How you doing, everybody? This is Jason, Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today. I forgot my shirt, and I forgot my hat, and my hair's all over the place. It is what it is. What am I bringing you today? Well, it's a very good question. Something I don't normally bring you. So, with that being said, what exactly am I bringing you, you ask? Well, we're going to do something I don't typically do. And somewhere along this video, I'm going to show you kind of what I'm talking about if you haven't been to my channel before. If you have, I should say rather, you kind of know what kind of collector you're dealing with here. I got myself in all kinds of rabbit holes and plenty of them to go through. But one in particular is action figures. And with the action figures that I typically have around me, as I'm going to show you some point in time, like I said, I typically like them complete in box, mint on card. That's usually how I like it. There are some, of course, that you will see here and there that I don't necessarily need, or from my, childhood or whatever. And those are cool. But most of the ones I collect, I put them on the walls and they just look great. It's a great little montage of what was before, what is now, and maybe a little earlier. So, with that being said, what we're going to do differently today is we're going to open some stuff up. And if you know me as a person, or even as a content creator, you know that it is very difficult by what I said. My room is completely full. I'm that kind of collector. I'm not the one that really opens things, but as I've been kind of going through things, whether it's in the Closet of Doom or some stuff outside in the garage, because I did have a lot of stuff that I brought with me from my last place I lived in Massachusetts, which if you haven't, I'll try to drop that video link in here at some point. I think it's one of my favorite personal videos that I've ever done, and it's a great video to go about and reflect on where I was and kind of where I'm at now. So if you want to know a little more personal side of me, there's a few of them in there, but that's the one that really defines the last year and kind of defines up to that point. And you could see it on my face. Like, you just have to go see it. I'm not going to explain it, but you might not look at it the same way I do because you're not me. But I know a lot of my family and friends, a few other people that just, decide not to usually watch my content too frequently because of whatever reason. But that one really touched them. So that one was like, wow, like, this is amazing. You have such a great journey, da-da-da. So lots of great comments out of that. Lots of good conversations as well. Which brings me to my other point that we try to get out before we get to the end of the video so we could try to stay on the tracks a little bit more than usual. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We got 193 now. 93, went up one. Awesome, amazing folks out there on a tube of a billion views, but only one of me and you who have subscribed to the House of Fun Video Games, who come by, who comment, like, share, all doing that, all awesome, wonderful things that we love to do with the content on this platform. Also, if you do decide to sub, make sure you hit the bell, because sometimes, ring-a-ding-ding, if you don't get the bell on, you ain't going to figure out, or you're not going to figure out, I should say rather, that I have content that just got recently uploaded. It's just the way it is. So, ring the bell solves the problem. Also, make sure you check out the Facebook page for the channel. That's Jason's House of Fun and Video Games on Facebook. You can also check us out on Twitter at Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. We take the conversation a little bit further than what we do here. We can include pictures. We can talk about your game rooms. We can talk about your things you find at the thrift. You can talk about things you found in the trash. Because you know how they say, or you know what they say, I should say rather, one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? Or one person's trash is another person's treasure. I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, definitely something to check out. I love getting into those conversations on here. Unfortunately, on this platform, we can't do that yet. So just keep that in mind in case you want to do any of those happy, wonderful things with me. So other things as well. I have a lot of different playlists on here. We got Thrift Time and Finds where we hit the thrift and we hit it hard and we get some great things and great deals out of it. There's a playlist for that. eBay Time and Buys. eBay Time and Buys Revisited, where we go over the actual buys that I've gotten previously, see if your boy here got duped. Because that does happen every once in a while. I haven't really put much on those type of videos. The Thrift Time and Finds have obviously a big chunk of my channel, along with just, looking at video games. As a matter of fact, Let's Play Some Video Games is another great series as well. And there's pretty much something for everybody. Of course, those few other personal videos as well that you could check out if you want to know a little bit more about me. And I think that the game room needs a little more spice. Not really much room for more spice, as you can see from the random videos I'm kind of throwing around up here. But there's always room for one more thing, right? There's always room for one more. We can find it somewhere here. So enough of the fooling around. Let's get back on track and let's open up some goodies and have some fun. Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult, so I got to brace myself. I'm not usually used to doing this. Now, I'm not talking about being in front of a camera. I'm talking to you. Opening things up. Video games, I'm all right for. I could care less if they're sealed, but action figures, that's the type of collector I am. So, Goose Barbara. Let's get to it. So, hopefully this looks good. I'm going to try to mess around with a couple different views. Figure I'd give you the views of the Cookie Cop, the duck, and of course Sonic that conveniently holds my phone when necessary. And we're going to take them off the table. I could have done this before, but, here's what it is. We want to have a nice clean table. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, check out my last video as we took a look at an inbox Wii that I had gotten from the thrift for a pretty decent deal, and that's kind of why you might see some of this still on here. I'll link that up there at some point, or I won't. You can just check it out on the channel, and yeah, we'll go from there. It's pretty cool stuff. So that's the first thing we want to open up. We got a few goodies here. I think the one we're going to go for first is Friday the 13th. So I will try to give you a little close-up of what this is going to look like. I love the NECA figures. They're awesome. And this one's already got that. Oh, these things come off right there all the time. It's really aggravating, but this is kind of, well, you can't really see. Oh, there you go. You can see, hey, we're getting there. Look at that. The light actually helped us for once. I don't typically do this, so brace yourself, because I certainly am right now, and I only got one shot at this, because if I blow it, then I guess it's a wasted video, but we got to get ourselves a razor, and then go ahead and figure this out. And you get to hear all the weird chair moving noises, because that's just the type of video that we're going to be doing, so let's see. Cue the music. Ouch. Oh, that's tough to do. Oh, man. Oh, that's so hard to do. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it, folks. I know it seems silly, but like I said, I don't know if you can really see me. Hopefully you can. I'm a sealed mint on card collector, so to do this would be tough, but it's a double, so it is what it is. Let's see what we got here. I mean, I'm happy that I get to do this because I don't usually get to, but look at that, huh? Well, let's just take a peek here real quick. It's got a nice little silhouette here. I don't know if I can really project that on the camera because all you can see is or whatever the hell is behind me. But I mean, that's pretty cool. Well, takes care of that. And we're gonna have our Jason Voorhees popping out now. We'll get all the stuff out and then we'll take a quick look at what we're doing here. I don't want to make this a super long video, but I did want to put something out, and you know, just kind of want to do something a little different. And this is certainly different, and this isn't going to happen very frequently. So I think we figured it out. We got them out of there. Good. Okay. Awesome. Wow. It's been a while since I've had a figure that I've actually opened up, so I think that we could probably stand them up. And why did I decide to get 2 of these things? I don't know. Probably because I was going to eventually do something like this. So, oh, both the masks come off too. Oh wow, that's really interesting. Oh yeah, okay, I get where we're going here. So we're definitely going to get some close-ups of this after the fact, or maybe I'll put it to the side of the video as well. But let's take a look at some of the articulation as the dogs decide to go bonkers, and you're going to really hear it this time. A little bit tight on the knee parts, but I think that is so you can actually pose them good. And we got a couple of hands that we can kind of go. I think this is a replacement for. Alright, and we're back after a minor interruption. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to let that first part of the video go, because the dogs are going absolutely ballistic. A little more ballistic than usual. And it just so happens to be that it was a package delivered. But it wasn't for your boy here. So keep that in mind, Cynthia. Anyway, let's get back to the unboxing. So I'm going to kind of try not to repeat myself, but I think I was in the middle of talking about the articulation of this figure. These NECA figures are absolutely amazing, and this is the very first time that I'm holding one and being able to feel it move and everything, from being like I said, a complete in box mint on card kind of collector for action figures. And like I said, the legs feel a little tight. One feels tighter than the other, but I mean, that's not the biggest deal. I used to play with action figures, when I was much younger, that had a lot less points of articulation, which makes it a lot harder to display them. But I gotta tell you, these are awesome. And it's a little, like I said, it's a little tight, but not in a bad way. I believe that the arms don't come off, but the hands, at least one hand is interchangeable. I believe it may be this one. So I think that's pretty awesome. We'll get a little close up, and I'll throw it up here at some point. And I mean, just the fact that I can do that, that's so wild. It has 2 different heads for Jason. And I believe, without taking it fully apart, that with this one, you can actually create a scene. If you haven't seen the movie, then I guess spoiler alert, but it's been out forever. That you can actually, oh yeah, you can. Oh my God. Like, I'm going to show you this close up, regardless if I do it again or not, because this is awesome. Just going to move some stuff around now. Check that out. I don't know how good that's going to come out, but let's see if we can get it to come in at least a little better. Like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, that sits perfectly in place. NECA with another killer action figure lineup, that just has such the coolest things with it, and I'm just kind of flabbergasted that actually worked. And you can get the mask on pretty easy, I think. If not, then I'm going to be extremely upset in about 2 seconds. But again, remember, I'm not usually one that opens up things, so it's a little different for me. But yep, head pops right on pretty good, so you can interchange the heads. This mask comes off as well, but there's really no point to, because that's kind of the point of the extra head, is that you can do that with it. The parts look amazing. They really do. They look very lifelike, and how they would in the movie, and I think they fit pretty good into the hand. They're kind of bent a little bit, but it's okay. Yeah, I mean, just look at that. Let's just take a second to appreciate this. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. I don't think that his arms are really supposed to move much, but they could kind of, they kind of twist and turn. Okay, so they kind of do that. I'm learning as we go along here, folks. Other accessories are the axe, so it's one of the infamous kills in the movie. And of course, the hacksaw. How could you forget what that is? Meat cleaver. Sorry, Mr. Glover. And an extra hand, like I said. And then, of course, the tombstone. This will be the second one that I have. I have one for Jason that was given to me as a going away gift when I left a job prior to the one that I'm at right now. And somebody knew that, my name's Jason. I was born on Friday the 13th. And why don't we give you a tombstone that says Jason Voorhees on it? So, works for me. I believe it might have been for the NECA figures. The Friday the 13th Part 6 incarnation of the figure. So, this is really cool. I'm going to be excited to show you some of the close-ups on it. But, pretty neat stuff. I'll show you him as is right now. You get a little better view as we figure that out. But, I mean, the detail on these is just awesome. And the feeling of it, like the shirt and just everything about it is just great. Very detailed on the shoes. The pants, like, they just nailed it with this. And I know this is just a small sample of the ones that, I have way above me. But this is just great. I'm super happy for it. And, I'm glad that I actually found out that I had these, because now I can kind of display them somewhere in the game room where they're not in the box. And, I kind of like that. Not really my cup of tea, really, with newer stuff, but it is what it is. So if we have doubles, let's do it. I think the next one we're going to move on to is another great flick from the old horror catalog. We got ourselves some Nightmare on Elm Street. Try to get a up-close and personal view of the box art. Again, NECA just absolutely murders, all puns intended, this box art. It just looks fantastic. Sorry about the reflection of the light. It is what it is. You know how we do it here. We do our best. That one actually stayed. Like I said, these parts sometimes will come out undone. Just look at that. I mean, you can't really see it. I think you can see it. And then, of course, this is old Fred Krueger in the box. But we're not keeping him in the box, folks. This is the point. But it's time to do it again, and I feel pretty comfortable with it. So, let's take him out. Even though I don't think I'm going to be keeping these boxes, I certainly want to at least try to preserve them. But these boxes look kind of damaged anyway. Maybe that's why I ended up getting different ones. So at some point, or maybe I just didn't know. Again, the background's awesome. That'd be a nice little centerpiece background if I actually had a place to put it in the game room. Maybe I will. Maybe I will in one of these shelves or something. I don't know. But I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's see what we got. So we've got two different heads for good old Fred Krueger. I got this one as a release before this one, I believe, so it's going to be probably a little different on the packaging, but not too bad. They always try to improve, I know, as time goes on with these things. So let's see if we can get it out here. Again, the detail without even touching this is something different. Oh, the foam came out. I'd be very cautious with this one. This piece right here, we'll get a close-up on it. That is, feels a little easy to break, but let's certainly hope not, because I don't want to break anything because they look cool. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, what are you gonna do, right? So let's see if we can figure out how to do this without cutting our hands off. Because if that's the case, it's going to not be a very good time for me or you, because it'll be another stop to the video. I could have done this off screen just to kind of save some time, but I don't really care. We're having fun here. We can kind of skip around and see what you enjoy. I'm not going to lie. I'll show that after I kind of get him out. I think it was probably the best way they could keep him in there so he doesn't break, but little skeptical there. But I mean, you give and you take, I guess, right? So, let's see if I can figure these out here. Okay. And we've got 2 different heads, the third one being on his body, so 3 heads in total. Not a lot of other accessories. I didn't really expect them to be. But really cool parts of the first movie, of course, are included in this. And you got to put on his hat, because how could you not put on his hat? And this isn't the Demon Freddy, of course, as some people refer to him as in Freddy vs. Jason. But the articulation is a little different along the legs. Not the worst thing in the world. You know, you can do the little turny thing here. I don't know if you can really see how I'm articulating that. The glove looks amazing. I kind of wish that the articulation, it looks like you can, but I'm kind of nervous. Oh, okay, it will. Getting a little nervous because it should have full articulation for the most part, but you can kind of move the claw around a little bit, which is awesome. Move the hands out like this. I think there's another one that, like that infamous scene in the first one where he has the really long arms. I think there's another one like that, but I don't have it. Just didn't really interest me, but it looked really cool. The detail on the gloves is really good. Detail on the clothes, again, they absolutely nailed it. And it looks like this is a part of, oh wow, it's like the shirt can come off, but it's not supposed to. So if you ever wanted to see what that one was. And then we've got 2 different heads, so let's see if we can figure out how this is all going to work here. That doesn't really make much sense. I don't really know what that one's for, but I mean, we could also check out the box as well. 'Cause sometimes the box will kind of give us an idea of what the hell we're supposed to be doing with some of these. Which, yeah, it looks like the mask is supposed to go over one of the faces. I'm not really sure which one. I'm going to go ahead and guess it's the one that it would make most sense with. So, a little weird on that part. So I'll kind of articulate this as best as I can on video, and of course I'll try to get some closer ups. Here is the little mask that comes with it, and then boom, boom, peekaboo. I guess that's supposed to come off. That kind of stays on there. I think there's a way I could probably get it on there a little bit better, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. A little weird because I think it'll just fall off. Yeah, see, it just kind of falls off, but I know what they were trying to go for there. Maybe I'm just using the wrong face, but that would make most sense with the face that I have on here and the dummy face. But I could be wrong. You know, honestly, I could just be wrong. And maybe it might be... Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so it was just me. So there we go right there. All right, that's on there now. And then you could kind of just pull it off. And bada bing, bada boom, right? So pretty cool stuff. I'm digging the accessories for sure. This one right here is another iconic part of the movie. And I don't know how good that's going to come up because it's a lot of stuff behind me trying to... There we go. Okay, so we figured it out there. So that's when he chops one of his fingers off. That's really cool. This is the one that's a really flimsy feeling one, but, you know, I get it. It kind of is what it is. This is when the phone comes to life, but if you move this around too much, I can already tell that this thing is probably not going to do what we want it to do. Try to get it to focus here. I'm trying here, folks, but remember, I'm not used to really trying to focus in on things like that, so not really getting much luck. But this right here that I'm touching my finger on is a little loose. That makes me a little nerve-wracked, and that is what it is. Maybe it's just the way it's supposed to be, but I mean, great design, overall look to it, just looks amazing. And again, I'll try to throw up some video of it closer up when I get a chance. So just remember, it's my first time doing this, and I haven't unboxed anything like this in, I don't know, forever. If I get into a story real quick, I'll try to interrupt the flow here, because that's what I do, jumping off the train tracks with the stories. But when I was younger, I decided to, I want to say it was probably in the early 90s, kind of told my grandmother, I don't want to open things up anymore. And the first figure that I did decide to collect complete in box, mint on card rather, was one from the Tick series, and it's one that I really, really wanted. I had Hasbro ones, Hasbro WWF figures that I ended up collecting in the package. They're not open, but I ended up opening them. That was the time when I was really starting to think, you know, maybe I should get into a collector, which is very strange because when I got those figures, I was still fairly young. I was young. I was probably like 8, 9 maybe. And I was just like, I kind of want to keep these in the package. I don't know why, but I did. Didn't have any monetary things in my mind or anything like that. Or, wow, this could be worth a ton of money some days. My collecting habits have really nothing to do with that. I just like collecting stuff that I like to collect. Is what it is, right? So I think that, yeah, the Tick, the man-eating cow, which I'll show the first couple of figures that I really started going into, the rabbit hole when it comes to collecting action figures and not really playing with them or setting them up or, you know, doing cool things with them. And just kind of leaving them in the box and just kind of looking at them, which, I don't know, kind of defeats the purpose of them. But at the same time, like, we all have our certain things. But I love this hat. This hat's great. I'll give you another close-up of this if I haven't already. I can't really remember. So, even though it just happened, but pretty cool. Hat will come right off of them. Sorry if the lighting's kind of screwing with us, but we'll be able to get more in-depth close-ups on this. But I mean, so far, 2 figures. The accessories are amazing. The feeling of them is great. They have a very distinct smell. One of the things that you have to realize as a collector, if you're going to go for authentic things that are commonly counterfeited or reproduced, which this isn't the case because clearly, you know, this is something that's newer, you have to use all your senses. I guess it's kind of the educational part of the video. So when it comes to video games, if you smell a manual and it smells like new contract paper, because if you look back at my first eBay Time and Buys Revisited, I took a look at my Castlevania manuals where we will go ahead and continue on with the next figure. It'll be the last figure, and then I got one special one at the end. So this one right here is not the original incarnation of Michael Myers. This is the 2018 version of him. NECA did an amazing job with these figures. It kind of looks like a dog got into this or something. I think at the time that I would have gotten this, I would have had 1. But now I have 3 others, so we have 4 dogs in the house. But, I mean, just look at this. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, stunning packaging. Obviously, you know, we're not worried about that, but just so you can kind of see it. Well, look, the sticky parts stayed in place. And again, we'll try to articulate this as best as we can. Just look at that imposing figure. Oh my goodness. And it's got the pumpkin right there. I'm pretty pumped about this one, folks. This is great. Very detailed. And I haven't checked out any other unboxings. I do a lot of watching videos on YouTube, just like I'm sure many of you do as well. You do, use, or whatever. They talk however I want with my channel. But it's getting a lot easier, but we're not making a habit of it, believe you me. So, another awesome diorama in the background. We'll put that down there. I mean, just look at this, huh? I mean, do you really have to do much with this? Like, this would be an awesome piece somewhere in the game room, but I don't know how I could fit it anywhere. I just don't have the space, but I'm definitely going to at least keep those. I don't really care about the boxes at this point because the figures have already been opened, but this is a newer one compared to those other ones that are older, so let's see what we may be able to figure out here. There we go. Well, that kind of went flying. I'll find that in a year. As long as we don't cut ourselves. I think that's it. Always double check before you toss it because you might be able to find them again. And we don't really need that because, yeah. Ah, knife just stuck into the table. That was a little weird. Okay. Well, first up, we've got the pumpkin. It has a battery release thing that I think I just released. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Oh, yeah, you're definitely getting a close-up of this. And again, remember, I will provide a more detailed close-up as we go along with these figures at some point. Just look at that. Oh, perfect, huh? And that is just beautiful. It looks like an actual candle's going off in there. Just great. Fantastic. What a great piece. And of course, this is part of the movie, so if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, even though it's been out for a while now. Yeah, this is someone's head. You probably couldn't tell from it, but yeah, very, very detailed. And again, I can't really articulate the whole thing, but I'm trying to, and the lighting, of course, too. But that's awesome. And we've got ourselves two separate heads. I don't really know why there would be a reason for two separate heads. You cannot remove the mask like you can with Jason Voorhees, but there is two different heads here, so oh, okay, I get it. So there's one that obviously shows more of the eyes, which you can kind of see in here. I'll try to get it as close as you can. Just look at the detail on these figures. It's just amazing. It's beautiful. It's awesome. I'm really happy to have been able to do this and make kind of content out of it. This one right here is more the one where you can't really see the eyes and everything like that. So I think that's really cool. A little detail on one of the eyes on this one, if I can see it, is obviously it's been damaged because of in the original one where he got coat hanger to the knife. Coat hanger to the knife. That makes no sense. Got a coat hanger to the eye. And again, same things with articulation. A little tight, but not a bad thing. The boots. These boots are actually movable. I don't know if these ones are. Are they movable? Oh, they are movable. Okay. All right. I can dig it. So you can actually do some pretty wild looking things with these. I mean, just amazing. The detail in these is just great. I wonder how easy it would be to stand up. Because usually you have to really work to get some of these things to stand up, but and he just fell. That was a fail. But anyway, really good figure. Awesome. They all have that very distinct smell to them. And, the head kind of moves around a little bit, but not too much. But just enough if you wanted to kind of position him in a different way. And he's a big one. And I'll have all three of them, of course, and, one parts of little clips of videos as well that I put up here. So you can kind of see the size difference. I'm just going to check it out real quick. Pretty significant size difference with Freddy and Michael, and then Jason and Michael are kind of pretty close to being the same. Looks like Michael might have the razor's edge, as we may call it, but really cool. This one right here. I don't want this video to be super long, just long enough, so we're going to try to keep most of the things together so we don't forget what the hell goes to what, because they could get pretty confusing very quick. So let me just reorganize a few things here. Make sure we have everything where we need it. Use the tombstones to kind of separate everything, and then of course the pumpkin. Now, last and certainly not least, because I do not want to take up way too much of your time, we're going to open up the Ecto-1. Why? Because I already have one. So, let's get to it. Oh boy, I can't wait to see this. I have an original Ecto-1. If I have any video of it, I will show you it. I actually gave it to my son, so he could now have fun with with it as well. I gotta figure out a way to keep these grippy things in place. They keep the things in place, but the grippy thing don't keep in place itself. So it does what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't do what it's supposed to do in regards to keeping itself in place. So let's see what we got here. I got one part out. And, no, I don't know if that's just how I remember it. Remember, these are reproductions. They're obviously not the originals, because the originals are extremely expensive. And I would never be opening them up, but got some great stuff in here. Let's see here. Another thing in here, maybe. Really cool. Now, where am I going to put this bad, Larry? I'm going to put it somewhere. Maybe I'll just keep it on the table. Way too similar, in my opinion, to the original. So if you are a collector of... This would be 80s? Yeah, this would be 80s. If you're a collector of the 80s action figures, especially with Ghostbusters now, and, what else was there that did something different like that? Spider-Man as well. be very careful to look at what before you're buying it and make sure you're looking at the dates clearly. If it says 19 or 2000 or whatever, this would say 2020 on it. But you know, just in case you want to collect an authentic action figure, you don't want to collect the other ones. So, wow, I don't even remember. Maybe this is very similar to. I mean, I'm sure it was a little frantic because I think I got mine for like Christmas or something like that. But mine doesn't really have a door that works anymore. Like, I'm definitely going to show you a side-by-side comparison. But it's got the little hook thing in there. I think, yeah, it's just like the original. My goodness. Does it have the date, though? Yep, so on this it has the date of 2021. So this is actually 2021 and not anything before. I don't really know how that's supposed to come out, but I'm not going to really mess with it. We'd probably put some of the stickers on here and, you know, do that kind of off camera, so we don't get you too take it too much from your time up. But I think it looks really cool. I think that this is supposed to go on here, if I remember. Yeah, I don't know if I really like that, honestly. I mean, it looks cool. It's the way it came, but I'm pretty sure I just tossed this thing to the side. I did not like the way that this looked. I have an action figure I could probably get. I have a double of either one or two of them that I have complete and boxed up there. Again, I'll show you some video of that as well. Maybe show you a side-by-side comparison, but just look at this thing, like without the stickers and everything, which I hope are included in here. Oh, look at that, they are. Okay, that would have been unfortunate. So. They got some of the really cool stickers in there as well. Have you take a look at that? That's pretty close to how I remember it. It's scary. It doesn't smell like it, but and then this is, I don't know, some sort of instruction manual stuff. They give you a manual that has the instructions on how to work everything. So maybe I'll be able to figure out how that's going to work. And yeah, let's take a look at this little guy that came with it. Again, this came with the original that I remember as well. And, yeah, he looks awesome. Look at that. Just like how I remember him. Plastic on this smells a lot different from the original. Just something to keep in mind. That's why I say use all your senses if you're trying to detect something. But here she is. Good old Ecto 1. There's another version of this as well. It hasn't been re-released, but the Ghostbusters 2. I had that. Maybe that's the one I gave my son. I can't really remember, but... We're going to put all the stickers on here off camera, and we'll have the close-up video at some point. You know, maybe in this part of the video. I don't really know what we're going to do. Maybe I'll do it after, but pretty cool stuff. So, let's get the stickers on this thing. Maybe we'll see if we can fit somebody in them. Doors all come out. They feel pretty good. So, we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back for the recap. So with that crazy flickering of light that happens no matter what, many people have pointed out the different lighting solutions I can have and try to give it a try, and I just haven't yet. I've tried a few different ones, and it is what it is. So lighting is what it is. It gets awfully toasty in here too, so I'd love nothing more than to put that fan on, but it will create a buzzing noise that will be extremely aggravating for you, I'm sure. So, what did you folks think about all these great things that I have unboxed, and some of the things I brought back from the past? Obviously, with the Ecto 1A, otherwise known as the Ghostbusters 2 Ecto 1, and then of course some of my classic figures from the 80s. This one's from 1984. That's pretty old. But it's funny because the TV series for the real Ghostbusters didn't come out until 86, I believe. So technically, if we want to get technical, this is actually from the first movie. But I believe it came packaged like you see with the real Ghostbusters, but it has a stamp on his foot of 1984 that says Columbia Pictures. If you look at the other one, I'm sure it doesn't say that. It says Kenner. So I may have one that I didn't realize, that maybe there's an action figure line out there that specifically went with the movie, but I don't believe so. I mean, let me know in the comments down below, as always, if you could figure out that enigma, because I didn't really actually realize that. But looking at the other one, he's exactly the same, other than the fact that the bottom of his print won't say 84, it'll say 2020. But regardless, these little things are something cool. These little action figures here are something that I hopefully will figure out a place to display in the game room. Figure I'd give you a different point of view in this vid as to some of the things you might not see, or some of the things you might see more up close. And of course the action figures themselves. I'm very happy that I got this opportunity to bring this content to you, and now I'm glad I could finally display 3 of the main 80s slasher figures of that genre, the 80s slasher heroes, villains, whatever way you want to look at it, and display them prominently in the game room as they should be displayed. And is this something that I'm always going to do, or I'm going to do a lot of, or it's going to be an ongoing series? Judging by the video that you've seen, you know what kind of collector I am. I don't have to say it again or repeat myself, because I do that sometimes. I don't think this would be something I will do a lot of, but when the time is right, if I find a double or whatever, I'm certainly going to bring it to you and give you a quick look-see, an unboxing, whatever you want to call it. So I think that all these figures are made very well. You can clearly see the difference in articulation from one from a long time ago to one from now. I'm not going to touch him because he'll move. And I'm pretty happy with adding these to the loose figure collection I have. I have a lot of them, but none from the, the present or in the last 10 or 15 years that I know of, other than like these guys. And there's one right up here. And of course the reproduction array, which came out in the 2020 Real Ghostbusters re-release from Hasbro, but originally it was Kenner. Just take a look at that for a sec. This wasn't part of the re-release. This is just part of the Ghostbusters movie that came out in 2016, which I don't even think I've seen. Just didn't really interest me, but I'm going to check it out. It seems like it could be something good, and that's where that guy comes from as well. That's actually the guy that is in on the stickers on here. I forget what his name is, but the reason why these are out of the package is because the packaging broke. This is just what happens, unfortunately, with moving, and that's what happened to these guys. So they came out, but these other ones are obviously ones that you saw me unbox, and then a few other ones are from the past, as you can see with some, like specifically the Egon. He's pretty old and chewed up. I mean, we all, I'm sure, have chewed on toys at one point or another. But that is one from the past. That's one from way long ago when I was just a wee little lad. So let me know what you think of all this different content that you probably normally would expect from this channel. I had a lot of fun doing it. I would like to do it again, but only when it's appropriate and I happen to find a double or just something that I'm like, you know what, I don't really need this in the package. And what exactly we're going to do to find space, because space is my ultimate challenge. But if there's ever a challenge that I'm ready for, it's finding space for more goodies. Take care of yourself, folks, and we'll see you in the next one. Such detail.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. On when I chase like that, yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back of my swing home.